the Snarly Yow, an urban legend from the South Mountain region of Maryland, dating back to the early 18th century. But what is he? Where's the legend come from? Today, we're going to take a look at just that. Thanks for joining us here on Living History Comes Alive, when today we take a look at the legend of the Snarly Yow. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Historic apparitions, creatures that have appeared through history that just can't be explained. Urban legends. That explains the Snarly Yow. The Snarly Yow is a mysterious giant black dog who has been sighted at various spots around the South Mountain, Maryland region. His territory appears to be at a pass in where the old National Road cuts across a brook and a canyon. Although his appearance is similar to the black shuck of the UK, this hound's appearance appears to not have any connection to the imminent death associated with many mysterious hounds. Many eyewitness accounts have claimed to see the yow's coat change from black to white and back again. Even yet, another account of this beast describes the Snarly Yow as a white, headless beast that drug a chain behind him. Snarly Yow sightings date back in that region around South Mountain, Maryland, for over 200 years, to the early 18th century, to around the time that an inn was built out there. A common tale was that the Snarly would materialize and spook the horses of riders that were near that inn. They'd be thrown to the ground and look around, but the Yow was nowhere to be found. Now, many of these sightings were finally committed to paper in the 1882 book by author Madeline Vinton Dahlgren titled South Mountain Magic. In this book, several accounts of eyewitnesses are recounted pertaining to the Snarly Yow. One actually read, one night about 10 o'clock as he was returning from the village of Boonesboro, whither he had gone to make some little purchases for his family, he encountered the black dog. It was clear starlight, and the ungainly form of the beast could be distinctively traced. It was black and bigger than any dog he had ever seen. And as he came nearer, the object intercepted him and stood guarding the road in such a way that it forbid him to pass. So, to use his own expression, he fit him. That is, Nothing daunted, he fought at him, but to his confusion, the creature was attacked. It grew larger and presently seemed to extend from one side of the road to the other, making no noise, but showing a very wide and very ugly looking red mouth. While all the time the thick and heavy blows rained down upon it, the sinewy arm of the woodsman met with no resistance, but rather seemed to pass right through it. Presently, the still lengthening shadow passed onward, and then the man, not a little flurried at the strange nature of his vision, went home. Nor did he receive the least bodily harm from his ominous combat. Now the legend of the Yow has even reached into the 20th century. There have been several reported sightings in the 20th and 21st century, apparently due to the Snarly Yow's fondness for chasing cars and scaring motorists. Now, the most current stories tell of travelers driving the national road, Route 40. He would appear lifelike in front of their cars and attempt to block their passage. Of course, drivers believing they just hit a living black dog would stop just to look behind and see the ominous Snarly Yow standing right there in the road, fangs bared, and then he would just vanish. Now, after a rash of sightings during the early and middle part of the 20th century, the Yow seemed to fade into obscurity. But this wasn't the last. The legend was resurrected in the 1970s when sightings of the legendary beast began again. During a new round of mysterious encounters with the Yow, again, motorists would report a huge black dog appearing in front of their vehicles. In 1976, a Frederick County, Maryland couple reported hitting a large bluish-black dog with glowing eyes. When they stopped to investigate, it had vanished without a trace. Now, these mysterious run-ins with the ghostly creature seem to be a reoccurring theme. Motorists would report the beast materializing in front of them, but their cars seem to pass right through the beast as they see him standing in the road behind them. If the Yow does truly exist, it's probable it's an apparition and not a flesh and blood creature. The creature seems to lack any physical properties, as objects seem to pass right through it. Some witnesses to the Snarly Yow have reported it passing through fences, and in one reported occurrence in the 1970s, a farmer, startled by the appearance of the beast, began throwing rocks and sticks at it, just to see the objects pass right through it. The creature glanced deeply at its attacker, viciously snarled, and vanished into the brush. Now, the entire area where the Yow has been spotted over the years was a hotbed of activity during the war between the states. The town of Harper's Ferry was highly contested and changed hands many times during the war. And the bloodiest battle of the whole conflict took place in nearby Sharpsburg, Maryland. The Battle of Antietam claimed over 22,000 casualties in a single day. Many, many ghost stories are told and reported in that area of the Antietam battlefield. Now, even the South Mountain area in Maryland, which is claimed to be the home of the beast, was also the site of intense and bloody fighting during the Civil War. Ghostly soldiers marching along the hills have been reported. But even legends predating the bloody Civil War exist. Legends of skeleton Indians have been rumored to roam the forests and hillsides. Now, if you prefer a more mundane and less supernatural explanation to all of this, it could easily be explained by people from the old world bringing their old world legends from Europe into a new culture. What do you think? This may be just folks with old world ancestry trying to keep the old world legends alive in a new world. Still, that doesn't explain the travelers and the visitors just passing through the region and their encounters with the ghostly apparition. But regardless of how you try to explain the Snarly Yow, something that isn't easily explained is lurking in the forests and hills around South Mountain, Maryland, and beyond.
Jesus Christ! I warned you! I've done it again! I warned you, but did you listen to me? Oh, no, you know.
I'd like to thank you guys for checking out this historic urban legend. I'd like to thank Lee McGinnis for throwing this thing in my direction. I kind of think it was a personal challenge, but I do love my supernatural stories and my urban legends, especially when they're seated in history. There's always a story to be found in every one of our states. There's always an unexplained urban legend. Some of them are downright spooky. But like I said, I'd like to thank you guys for taking this little trip in history with me. And as always, I'd like to ask you to please like, share, subscribe, comment. Definitely. Ding that little bell, because you never know when new stories are going to pop up, and like I proved time and time again, y'all never know what I'm going to talk about. So, as always, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. God bless you.